Okay, so let's go to the Vespers tone in Ukrainian. Господи взиваю, голос восьмий. It's in the key of B flat and G minor, and we begin on the B flat. Господи, взиваю до Тебе, вислухай мене, Господи. Господи, взиваю до Тебе, вислухай мене, вислухай голос моління мого, коли буду молитися до Тебе, вислухай мене, Господи. Нехай піднесеться молитва моя, наче кадило перед Тобою, підношення рук моїх, як жертва вечірня. Вислухай мене, Господи. A little trick whenever you're following these things. If you look at the bottom of page 1, that Вислухай голос моління мого, коли буду молитися до Тебе. We end on the A, right?
Yes.
And then we go to the G for the ending phrase. Вислухай мене, right? If you go into the second one, you see that we have the наче кадило перед Тобою, підношення рук моїх. And then we go to the A phrase, як жертва вечірня. And we go to the ending, but we're on the same note there. These are really important things to pay attention to, because you should know where the ending phrase starts in relation to all the previous phrases. Okay, it's a little point, but it's really important to take notice of that. Okay? So let's try to add the tenors then. Господи, Господи, взиваю. Okay, so the ladies, Господи, guys, Господи, ready? And Господи, взиваю до Тебе, вислухай мене, вислухай мене, Господи. Господи, взиваю до Тебе, вислухай мене, вислухай голос моління мого, коли буду молитися до Тебе, вислухай мене, Господи. Нехай піднесеться молитва моя, наче кадило перед Тобою, підношення рук моїх, як жертва вечірня. Вислухай мене, Господи. О, Господи, Господи, вислухай до Тебе, вислухай мене. What?
Because I think what makes it difficult for the sopranos is that we're singing so low.
I know.
So.
Yeah. So you want to take it up? Okay, good. I just want to get the basses now. Yeah. I want to get the basses now. Yeah, that's good. Господи, Господи. Oh, ready? And for the basses, it's Господи, взиваю до Тебе, вислухай мене, вислухай мене, Господи. Господи, взиваю до Тебе, вислухай мене, Вислухай голос моління мого, коли буду молитися до Тебе. Вислухай мене, Господи. Basses, okay? Can hang on with that? Господи, Господи, guys. Господи, ready, and. Господи, взиваю до Тебе, вислухай мене, Господи. Господи, взиваю до Тебе, вислухай голос моління мого, коли буду молитися до Тебе. Вислухай мене, Господи. Нехай піднесеться молитва моя, наче кадило перед Тобою, підношення рук моїх, як жертва вечірня. Вислухай мене, Господи. No? Як на маслі, huh? Go to tone 8 in English. Let's just sing it through. Right? Господи, Господи. Oh, ready? And. Lord, I have cried unto you, hear me, O Lord. Lord, I have cried unto you, hear me. Attend to the voice of my supplication when I cry unto you. Hear me, O Lord. Let my prayer be set forth as incense before you, the lifting up of my hands as the evening sacrifice. Hear me, O Lord. Дуже добре. Okay, let's go to the tone 8 Tropar in Ukrainian rather. Z vysoty zійшов. This is a really, I don't know, it's sort of a very happy kind of melody, right? Okay?
Well, let's use the old version.
What?
Let's use the old version of it. It's less so.
The what?
Like you start from the F and go up.
Yeah. Okay, so
What is using?
Kyiv G. Do mi so mi do z vysoty zійшов єси благоутробний, погребіння прийняв триденне, щоб нас визволити від пристрастей, життя і воскресіння наше, Господи, слава Тобі. Guys, з висоти зійшов єси благоутробний. Basically, other than the little dipsy doodle at the end, that's the whole thing. Okay, ready? So, guys, ladies, z vysoty, guys, z vysoty, ready? And. Z vysoty zійшов єси благоутробний, погребіння прийняв триденне, щоб нас визволити від пристрастей, життя і воскресіння наше, Господи, слава Тобі. Very nice. Bases. З висоти зійшов єси благоутробний. So basses here, sopranos here, tenors here. Ready, end. З висоти зійшов єси благоутробний. Погребіння прийняв триденне, щоб нас визволити від пристрастей, життя і воскресіння наше, Господи, слава Тобі. And let's go to the Tropar in English at the very end of the book there. Well, if my wife put it together, it's at the very end of the book. If somebody else put it together, I don't know. Okay. You descended from on high, O merciful one. You descended from on high, O merciful one. You descended from on high, O merciful one. Ready? All together, end. You descended from on high, O merciful one. You accepted the 3-day burial to free us from our passions, our life and resurrection. O Lord, glory to you. Okay, good. Yeah. Tone 1. Господи, взиваю. Tone 1. No, the Господи, взиваю. Tone 1. Do, mi, so, mi, do. Okay, let's just sing it. Everybody, soprano line. Господи, взиваю до Тебе, вислухай мене, Господи. Господи, до Тебе, вислухай мене, вислухай голос моління мого, коли буду молитися до Тебе. Вислухай мене, Господи. Нехай піднесеться молитва моя, наче кадило перед Тобою, підношення рук моїх, як жертва вечірня. Вислухай мене, Господи. Okay. Let's, you know what, for lack of time, let's just leave that there because we don't do tone 1 for another 3 weeks yet. And move over to tone 1, Lord, I have cried, in English. Okay, just to sing that very same thing in English. Okay. And again, everybody soprano line. I know some of you were harmonizing and it was good, so if you want to harmonize, that's okay, but just want to go through this quickly because we're running quickly out of time. And Lord, I have cried unto you, hear me. Hear me, O Lord. Lord, I have cried unto you, hear me. Attend to the voice of my supplication when I cry unto you. Hear me, O Lord. Let my prayer be set forth as incense before you, the lifting up of my hands as the evening sacrifice. Hear me, O Lord. Okay. And go to the tone 1 Tropar now. And everybody knows this melody. This is not anything we really need to review. Uocc means Eparchy Cantoring. And let's just sing the melody. If anybody wants to harmonize according with this, please.
The first note for the tenor part?
For this? Okay, the sopranos are Uocc on the do, and the tenors are on mi. Uocc means Eparchy Cantoring. Okay, Uocc. Ready? And Uocc means Eparchy Cantoring. І воїни стерегли пречисте тіло Твоє, воскрес Ти на третій день спасем, даруючи світові життя. Ради цього сили небесні взивали до Тебе життя даче. Слава воскресінню Твоєму, Христе. Слава царству Твоєму. Слава провидінню Твоєму, єдиний чоловіколюбне. And go to tone 1 Tropar in English when the stone was sealed. Okay? Okay? And when the stone had been sealed by the Jews, and the soldiers were guarding your most pure body, you arose on the third day, O Savior, granting life to the world. Therefore, the powers of heaven cried out to you, O Giver of life. Glory to your resurrection, O Christ. Glory to your kingdom. Glory to your providence, only lover of mankind. Okay. We are going to forego the structure of the Divine Liturgy. We'll get to that eventually at some point. Pani Metolinsko, have you brought any of those funeral books to be?
I did not today.
Okay. How many people here need a funeral book? Please raise your hand. 1, 2, 3. No. How many people? Next month we're doing with the funeral. So next month everybody's going to need a copy of the funeral book. So I need to know how many people need funeral books. Who don't have funeral books, you're going to need them. Raise your hands high, please. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I will have them.
Okay, bring 10.
Yes,
Okay, so next month you can see Pani Metolinska to get one of the funeral books. How much will they cost? Okay, the retail is $14.95. So I don't know what kind of discount you guys got. So be prepared for at least $15, okay? Be prepared for $15 for the funeral book. Okay, couple of more things before we break. We're going to take a little break before Vespers. We'll go upstairs to serve Vespers. But a couple of things. About the Tropars, one thing I forgot to mention. There's, in some places, a custom whereby when the Tropars are inserted into their place during the hours, You know, normally we would serve the 3rd and 6th hours before liturgy, or the 9th hour before Vespers. In some places, when they read the whole service and they come to the Tropar and they sing the Tropar in the Tropar melody. This is not proper. It's not, I mean, nobody's going to go to hell for it. It's not a sin. But it's unnecessary. We read the hours. So when you read the hours, you do not sing the Tropar or anything else. There are particular times of year when we will sing the hours, like when we do royal hours, or when we do the hours during Lent, on weekdays of Lent, where particular Tropari are sung. But during the common part of the year, we read everything. So we do not sing Tropars during the hours. Also, during the liturgy, when we have lots of Tropars, or sometimes not so lots of Tropars, there's also a custom in certain places where they will sing the first 1 or 2 Tropars and read the rest of the Tropars. And that's okay too. You see that you have that custom around, okay? For example, you know, at the monastery there in Rives Junction, on weekday services, they will often do that. They'll sing, you know, the first 2 main, you know, Tropars, and they'll basically read everything else, okay? On Sundays, they'll usually sing everything, okay? But you have to see what works best in your circumstances, because most of you, you know, if you have a choir who can sing the Tropari, generally, they're only able to sing like the main tones and the big feast day Tropari. To expect them to be able to sing, you know, for a choir to sing 7 Tropars and conducts according to the appointed melody with 3 or 4 different melodies in a parish circumstance, in our, you know, parishes here, I think it's a little bit crazy. If you can do it, that's great. But you have to remember that the singers also need a break. They need to mentally, you saw what happened to me earlier when, you know, this note, that note, and this, you know, and fed you to saying, what are you doing after for coffee and things like this, right? And so it's very important to look at the liturgy as something that ebbs and flows. And that's one of the beauties of our liturgy, that we have time within the liturgy to go into ourselves. So, for example, to say, okay, we're going to sing the Tropar of the tone and the Tropar of the parish, and then a reader will read the rest of them. Well, that gives everybody a little bit of break. That gives the choir director a chance to sort of, okay, get to the right page, and all that kind of stuff. Okay? So, again, we apply these things to our own particular circumstances. That's going to work out best for all of us, for the greater glory of God. And God forbid somebody should think that, well, you know, we sang the kondak in the wrong tone, so we're all going to hell. Okay, that's not what it's about at all. We try to do things properly and in order, because if you do them properly and in order, you're able then to pray. You're not always thinking, well, what comes next? You know what comes next. You know how it's supposed to be. You know what your people are capable of, and you don't expect your people to do things they can't do. That's really important. I've been in parishes where you have people, sometimes they're even choir directors, who think, Joy, in 1961 we sang Vedel's Paschal Canon, and it was beautiful, so we have to sing Vedel's Paschal Canon now. And you've got, you know, me and Billy Bob and Maria. And, you know, one's deaf, and one has lost a voice, and the other one can't read music. But we have to do Vedel, you know? No. You say, you know what? You say, you know what? We can sing the basic melody really nicely. So let's just sing the basic melody really nicely. You try to do it, you know, the right thing, the right way, to people's strengths, you know, to their competencies, and it'll be fine, okay? So I think that's where I would sort of end up right now, okay? You are listening to each other more now. It's very good, okay? You can tell that people, you know, we're not having the pushing and pulling, and that's a really important thing, okay? So just, you know, you take this stuff to your parishes and do with it whatever you can. Next month, you have to really pray for me this month, because I have to put the funeral service under notes over this next month. I've got a fair portion of the English done already, but I got to start on the Ukrainian this week. So God willing, we'll have a funeral service all under notes for next month. Next month is on the 9th of November, not the first Saturday, but the second Saturday, which is good for me because I need the extra time. And again, if anybody else wants to come, they're more than welcome. Just one question before we break and go upstairs. Some of you are on, I have two distribution lists. I have a Vespers Stichira distribution list where every week I send out the Stichira for Vespers on Saturday or for the feast day, plus the order of Tropars for Sunday liturgy. And the other distribution list is the Cantor's Course distribution list. If anybody is on one but not the other and wants to be on the other, just email me, okay? Just email me and let me know, and I will do that, okay? So, before we break, any questions? No? Okay, thank you. You were very good. Thank you for putting up with me. We're going to head upstairs. We're going to do Vespers, and then I'm going to rest my voice and just listen to what my wife says all night, because I won't be able to say anything back to her. Stop. A question.
I thought it would be on the 2nd of November, in the first Sunday.
No, it is the next session is on the 9th of November. Yeah, 9th of November, okay? Добре? Добренько? Okay, дякуємо.
Дякую вам.
Часом кондак має натурально читатися, тропарі проспівати.